So I'll be showing you today maybe a couple of rounds of this war of mine, the board game. This is the Kickstarter version of the board game. Also I have all the expansions. There are two major expansions of this game. What you see here is the alternate version of the advanced version of the board. And also I will be playing today with the Orphan expansion. It adds one card, one Orphan miniature, or two if you choose the other card, and also it adds a kid action deck of cards, and also new fittings for the kids. And also I'll be playing with the Sewers expansion. This is the Sewers expansion from the second expansion of this game. So this is the campaign mode of the game. These are the random 3 characters that I'm starting with: Katya, Anton and Boris, and their miniatures. The advanced side of the board is a little different from the main one. It has this upper floor here. It's a little smaller, and every time you do an action here, you roll for sniper hit. Also, there is no new idea space, so all the fittings are inside the deck. The furniture deck is also different. You place them all here and you can search them by doing this action. Also, this is like a help aid card. I'm using this instead of the journal. It's much easier to track down the play. These are the location. This is a location from the Wartime Diary 2. It's another book of stories from the second expansion of the game. Okay, I will do, I think, 1 or maybe 2 rounds of this game. I won't be making a full playthrough of a campaign because it's so long. It takes up to maybe 6, 7, 8 hours. I'll be filming about 1 hour of this game. Okay, so every time a new campaign is held, you read the first chapter, and after that you draw an event card. This is not the events card for the first chapter. You draw a new one after this one. So chapter 1. When the Civil War broke, many people thought that it would only last a couple of weeks. It's been a year since the military surrounded the rebels in the capital, cutting off all supply lines. The civilians still trapped in the city suffered from hunger, disease, and the constant threat of shelling. It's another day of desperate waiting for the end of this terrible war. And here it tells you how to organize the first the events and the chapters for this campaign. So after this card is resolved, it is removed for the game, and next is going to be another event card drawn. This is not an event card, this is just a chapter card. So this one goes here. These are the objectives for the 3 chapters. This is for the first chapter. This is for the second one. And this is the last objective of the third chapter. They are available for any players to watch, but they can only be resolved when the event. So for example, this is only for the first event. After the first chapter of the game, the next card for the objective is drawn, the other one from here. Okay, so the sewers expansion adds a new way of finding things and scavenging. It makes the game, I don't know if it makes it easier or harder, but you can find things even if you stay in the house during the actions. Okay, so let's start the first day. Okay, so for the first day, every character has 2 actions available. Katya has a special ability when trading with Katya. Trade commission is lowered to 0. Anton hasn't got any special ability, and neither Boris, but he's one of the red players, so if he is wounded, when you check for the spirit fate card, you lower his wounds by 1. So for the first day, Boris is going to search for the hip, but in this advanced side of the board, you roll for sniper every time you do an action in the upper part of this board. So before performing any action on this floor, roll the black die. If the result is 1, the character performing the action suffers 2 wounds. So the same thing as the outside action. Okay, this is the Kickstarter version of the 10-sided die. So any die beside 1 is good. So it's an 8. He isn't hit by a sniper, and now he can do his action, his first action. Searching for the hip. Oh, I forgot to draw the event for the first die. This is very important, yeah. So let's draw the event, and after that we are going go back to the actions. Add 2 cold tokens to the cold space. So famine. Place this card on the findings pile. If any card is already there, remove it from the game. The value of canned raw food and vegetables is raised by 3. So this one goes here. So until this one is discarded, the value for food is raised by 3. Okay, so let's go back to the game. So Boris searched the heap, and he gained 1 electrical part, 1 water. This is very good because we only start the game with 2 water, and now all the characters have water. And 3 components. Add this to the storage and remove this card from the game. So the water, the electrical part, and the components were added to the storage. And now let's move on with Katya. She's trying to pick lock this door here. She needs a lock pick, and she needs a 4 and above for a success. Rolling again this die. So there is a 70% chance of success, and it's a 9. So the lockpick is discarded. And now the door is opened. Also we find here a mechanical part and 1 wood. After that this card is this. So I added the mechanical part and the wood here. And for Anton, he's going to build the bed for the eel with 4 components and 4 wood. This is an automatic success. This is a bed that is Also useful for ill persons, so they can heal here. So this is a reward card. If you complete one of the scenarios the game comes with, you get this card, you get to add it to the game. So bed for the ill. You can take a nap here, just like the normal bed, but you can also sleep. Sleeping in the bed for a whole night removes all the fatigue from a character. And beside that, you can roll the black die. On the results of 6 or higher, lower this character illness by 1. So it's the same thing as taking meds. If you roll 6 or higher, you have a chance you successfully lower your illness by 1. So this is a very good card. It's better than the normal bed that doesn't have this action. Unfortunately, when playing on this side of the board, you have to first cut to these bars to get to the poke about action to find wooden components. After you search for the heap, also you can poke about for parts, for mechanical or electrical parts. But since those bars are here, I cannot cut through them. So for my second day actions, I will use Katya with her shovel. The shovel is not discarded afterwards, to dig through this rubble. You flip this card and place it where it was. I want to free this space because I have a wild garden here, so I can roll for the die and get one vegetable if I roll 7 or higher. This card goes here. And for my other 2 actions, I will go with Boris outside. I will not do anything with Anton because I have no actions left that I can do inside the house. So again, Anton goes outside. First I will have to roll this black die. On a result of 1 he gets 2 wounds and he's hit by snipers. So it's a 3, nothing happens. So he is on the outside space, and now we are going to draw a visitor's card from here. So we can take this character in our party, and I will do that. Arrival. A wounded stranger asks for shelter. If you decide to take this person in, draw a character from the unused character deck and add them to the group. Place a level 2 wounds and a level 1 hunger on them. Add a pistol and add 1 ammo to the storage. If you decide not to take this person in, you may trade with the items this person is carrying. So I am going to take this person. Let's see who it is. I'm going to pick the first character from this deck, and he's going to be Emira, the 13th character, only available in the Kickstarter version or the first expansion, I think. So she has an ability: once per scavenging with Emira present, add 1 vegetable to the findings pile. So this is a good ability that she has. So this is Emira. She joined the party. She's the 4th member. This is the maximum number of members that we can have in the party. She won't be able to do any actions during this turn because she has a wound level of 2. So she would have only 1 available action during the day. And that was it for the day actions phase. Now for the dusk phase. Water. Each character must drink 1 water. So we only have 3 water. Now I have to assign what character is going to eat and drink. So I'm choosing the new character Emira not to drink, because she has the spirit ability B. When he's hungry, lower her hunger by 1. So by not drinking, she might be hungry or miserable. And we are going to roll this die to see. On a 1 to 5, raise her hunger by 1. On a 6 to 10, raise her misery by 1. Okay, so we are going to see. It's 9. So we are going to place a level 1 misery on Emira. Now for the hunger phase, we also have this expansion with the boy. So we will lower his happiness by 1 if he is not fed during the dusk phase. So now if I don't feed this boy, he is going to be have to place this marker from 2 to 1. If it reaches 0, the game ends immediately. But there is an action, this kid's room here, that I can take to raise his happiness by 1. It can only be used once per day, but to get here I need to cut to this bars to search the heap, and after that to reach the kids room. So we have 3 raw food that I am going to use to feed all these 3 characters. So I'm not feeding the boy today. So he is going from 2 to 1 to his to his happiness track. So I'm going to feed Katya, Anton and Boris, and flip these over. By feeding them with 1 raw food, they get -1 to their hunger level. If you use a vegetable, there is no change, and if you use a canned food, you get to lower their hunger by 2, not by 1. Okay, now to the evening phase. I need to assign each of the characters to the guard space, or maybe to sleep on the bed or on the floor, or to go scavenging, since neither of them is fatigued. I'm going to assign 3 of them scavenging outside, and 1 to guard the door here. So I'm going to assign, as we can see here, only Boris has a prowess of 2. The rest of them have a prowess of 0, 0 and 0. That means that only Boris can re-roll a die if he is about to be guarding this space here. But he also has an inventory of 6. As you can see, Emira only has a 3 inventory, Anton 3 and Katya 3. Since Emira is very good in scavenging, I will take her miniature and place it here on the scavenging phase. Also Katya is good when trading, so if I will trade during this scavenge, I will also be able to use her ability, so I'm taking her to scavenge. I will be taking Anton scavenging even if he has an inventory of 3 and not 6, because he's not good at fighting. And by playing with this expansion, if this marker reaches 0, the game is automatically lost. So I will lower his happiness by 1 whenever any character suffer wounds during the night raid phase. So I really need this character Boris not to get wounded during this night phase. So I'll be using him to guard the door with a pistol. in his hand. So I'll be placing the pistol here and the ammo here. And now I can take stuff that I want not to lose from here. But since this is only the first day, and night raid deck doesn't have any of these cards here that you shuffle them at the end of the day, I think I'm going to keep these cards, these tokens here, because I think I can defend myself with a pistol and ammo with Boris. So since neither of them slept, every one of these characters will have a fatigue level of +1. So all of the 4 characters have now 1 fatigue, since none of them is sleeping. So I think I'm going to this far location here, where I'm going to draw just 10 cards, because this main station, as you can see, you can return 4 exploration cards to take 1 book and 1 cigarette. So I really need cigarettes because 2 of my characters need cigarettes not to be miserable during the night, and also a book. A book is very good because Anton has this ability. If there is 1 book in the storage, lowers Anton misery by 1 and raises his fatigue by 1. So I am going to pick this one here. So were added to the exploration deck. Also a vegetable was added to the findings pile because of Emira's ability. Once per scavenging with Emira present, add 1 vegetable to the findings pile. So I did that. Now we're going to draw cards from here to see what happens during this scavenge phase. So climb up, look for another way, or return 3 exploration cards to climb up. This is not that good because you have to roll the grey combat die for each scavenging character. Character may use their prowess, but they have 0 prowess. To reroll the result to determine how many wounds they would suffer during the climb. So I'm not going to do this climb action, so I'm going to look for another way, and I'm going to return 3 exploration cards and 4 more. 4 exploration cards because I want to take that action here, 1 book and 1 cigarette from the storage. I've added that 1 book and 1 cigarette to the storage, and we have only 2 cards remaining here in the exploration deck. Okay, we found something good. Search the furniture, return 2 exploration cards or raise noise by 1 and roll for noise to draw and resolve 1 card from the findings deck. We only have 1 exploration card, so we cannot return 2, but since the noise level is at only 1, I am going to raise the noise by 1 and roll for noise, and hoping not to get a 2. So there is only 20% chances of someone hearing me, and it's a 10. Nothing happens. Now we are going to draw a card from the findings pile and see what we get looking to the furniture part. Another vegetable, bandages. It is great because Emira can use them. She has a wound level of 2. And some herbs. So those were added to the findings pile, and now I'm going to roll the black die to see if we can get something else from here. So if we roll a 6 or higher, there is a 50-50% chance of getting something from this die. So it's a 7. We found an ammo, and this is very good because we have the pistol, so we can use that ammo in the future. Okay, this card is going to be shuffled into the findings deck again. And now let's see what the last exploration card is going to be. So tough luck, roll for noise. We have to roll for noise, and we have to roll higher than 2. So it's a 3. We are still okay. So now, because this is the end of the night raid phase, we have to pick what things are we going to take back with us, since neither of these tokens has a weight. You can pick up to 9 resources because we have an inventory of 9. So I am going to pick 6 water. So I've taken 5 water, 2 components and 2 wood, because the next turn I am going to build the workshop and I have the necessary components for that. Okay, now we are going to move to the night raid phase. So I have already chosen my character. He has a pistol and an ammo. Now I'm going to take this night raid card from here and see what happens. So this is a good card because nothing bad is going to happen now. Choose a character currently on guard duty. Check their misery and roll the black die. So Boris here has a level misery of 0. So now we are going to roll the black die. We roll a 2. Now we are going to look at this table. Boris, level misery of 0, 1, 3. So we are going to read script 117 for Boris. Okay, this is the script 117 for Boris. I had a beautiful girlfriend, Anna. He had a kid, a wonderful son. Luca was just like me. He was only 7 and already he was stronger than all the other kids. I bet he would have grown up to become a great weightlifter, just like I've always wanted to be. That is, if I'd been able to save him. So that was the only thing that happened during this night raid phase. This is going to be shuffled back into the night raid deck. Okay, that card was shuffled here. The exploration deck was reshuffled again with all these cards from the discarded pile and the unknown deck. All the characters return from scavenging. This noise token is going to come back to 1. I'm going to take back everything that I gathered during this night, during this scavenge phase. So these are all the things we have now. We don't have a lot of food, so we are going to need to find some food to feed everybody. Okay, now to the dawn phase. Now we can assign meds and bandages. I will assign this bandage to Emira because she is wounded, and it's a good thing that I found this bandage. We don't have any meds. Draw a fate card. So we are going to draw a fate card from here, from this fate deck, and see what happens. So raise the wounds of all wounded and unbandaged character by 1. So this is the only character wounded, but she has bandages. So we are not going to raise her wounds. Lower the illness of all characters who took meds by 2. We don't have any ill characters. Discard meds. If cold tokens minus boards up equals 5 or more, we have only 2 cold tokens, so this is not going to happen. Exchange the nearest small location. So we are going to exchange this small apartment building. So this is discarded. These other cards are going to get closer, and you are going to find a ruin cafe. We can find here coffee and books. And this main station, now it's closer, so we would draw 12 cards here instead of 10. Okay, resolve weight tokens. We don't have any weight tokens. Resolve spirit A on all character cards. So discard 1 coffee from the storage or raise Katya's misery by 1. We don't have any coffee, so we are going to raise her misery by 1. with Anton. If there is at least one book in the storage, lower Anton's misery by 1. Unfortunately, we have a book, but he isn't miserable, so we aren't going to resolve this Spirit A on Anton. But we found a book, so in the future he will be able to lower his misery. Now for Boris. If Boris is fatigue level 2 or 3, raise his misery by 1. He is fatigued, but only level 1, so nothing is happening. And with Emira, discard 1 moonshine or alcohol from the storage or raise Emira's misery by 1. We don't have any moonshine or alcohol, so she is going to get more miserable, a level 2 miserable. So this is shuffled back into the Fate deck. Now I am going to draw 2 narrative action cards and keep one, and shuffle the other one back into the narrative actions deck. So, Vigilant Watch. Playing during a night raid phase, lower the damage wounds from a single night raid card by 4 token resources wounds. This is not a bad card, Vigilant Watch. Or Kick the Door Down. Play during day action phase or during scavenging phase, you automatically open a closed door. So we could use this for to open this door here, and we could find here some special findings. But I am going to pick this Vigilant Watch because you can ignore wounds from a single night raid phase, so that is very good. Now we are going to proceed with the crime wave. We are going to shuffle 2 cards from these decks here that weren't shuffled at the beginning of the game, residents or night raid. So I'm going to be choosing 2 resident cards and shuffle them into the resident deck. So from now on, the chances of meeting some bad people from the resident deck are a lot higher than they used to be. Okay, that was the first day, and I'm going to be playing one more day and show you one more day, and that's all. This was the first day. Okay, so I'm going to draw the first card of the event deck. Let's see what happens. Add 4 cold tokens to the... So now we have 6 cold tokens to the cold space. This is the maximum that we can have. Place this card on the night raid deck. If there is at least 1 board up token in the shelter, skip this night raid phase. Unfortunately, we don't have any board up. We can get a board during this turn, so we are going to place it here anyway. Okay, now for the day actions, we have 2 actions with Katya, 2 actions for Anton, 2 actions for Boris, and only 1 action for Emira because she didn't get rid of her wounds level of 2, unfortunately. But we still have a lot of actions, 7 actions available during this day. So for my first actions during the day action phase, I'll be continuing to dig through this rubble here with Katya. So I'm going to use the shovel and Katya to dig through this rubble remnants. So this is removed from the game now. And now we found a wild garden. We can find some vegetable from here, so this is a very good spot. Next, I am going to build with Anton. Going to build some toys for the kids because I really want to raise his happiness. So I'm going to use the book that I have, mechanical part, 1 wood and 2 components. To make some toys. So now, after crafting the toys for the first time, raise the happiness by 1. So he's going to happiness of 2. and draw one kid action card. And also we are going to place this card on the board. Okay, so also we are going to draw a card from here, from the kid action deck. We can play it at any time. Look what I found. The orphan automatically finds any one yellow, green, gray token you choose. Add it to the storage. This is great because we can find this way the bars that we need to cut through this to the saw blade that we need to cut those bars. So this is a great card that we found. Okay, next. Boris is going to take a nap, and he is going to lower his fatigue by 2. He has only 1 fatigue, so I'm going to remove this, and he will have a third action available now because he doesn't have any fatigue, so he will still have 2 actions available. So because with Emira I have nothing else that I can do, I'm going outside again. I'm going to roll the black die and hopefully not getting a 1, because if Emira is going to get hit, so if Emira was going to get hit, she would have died, but in the advanced side of the board, you don't have to roll the black die, you only have to roll the black die here for the sniper rifle. I misread that, but it doesn't matter because in the first turn no one got shot. So I don't have to roll the black die, I just have to draw a visitor's card and resolve it. We cannot take any more characters to the game, but we can trade. And it's a reality impact card. Something unexpected has happened. Now we are going to see what color we're going to draw. It's a blue card. And we are going to read script number 954. So 954. That day our neighborhood wasn't too peaceful. We heard gunshots, explosions, some screaming. We go back inside. Suddenly there's a knock on the door. The knock grows louder and stronger until it turns into the banging of fists. It's a young woman, shaking and crying. Let me in, I'm begging you, let me in. They're coming, please. We look outside the window and see no chase. So now we have 2 options. We can't risk it. She's on her own. Or the other options, we let her inside. So I'm going to choose the first option. I want to take her in. So I'm going to read script 1876. Somebody was after her after all. They got to her moments later. You could hear her cries and screams. Shots were fired. Roll the black die and compare the results with empathy of each character. A result is equal or lower. Lower that character's empathy. Lower than that character's empathy. Raise her misery by 1. So we are going to have to roll the black die. So we need to roll really high. If we roll a 6 plus, nothing bad is going to happen. If we roll a 5, an 8 plus, nothing bad is going to happen. If we roll a 5 or less than 5, everybody is going to get miserable. So it wasn't the right choice to make. So it's a 7. It's a 7. So Boris and Emira won't be affected by this die, but Katya and Anton are going to be affected. So I'm going to raise his misery by 1. And also Anton is going to get miserable because of that decision. So now I have 5 more actions. Emira cannot do any more actions because of her wounds level of 2. Boris can do 2 more actions. I forgot to take his pistol. So for the first action I'm going to use this card. Look what I found. Play at any time. So I'm going to play this now. The orphan automatically finds any one yellow, green or gray token to token you choose. Add this to the storage. So I'm going to find the saw blade by playing this card and use this saw blade right now with my character, with Boris, to cut through this blade so I can find the hip and also the kids room. So I'm using the saw blade. The saw blade is not discarded after. And I also found 3 components and 1 mechanical part. Okay, Katya is going to sleep, so she's going to take a nap. And I'm going to discard her fatigue, a level of 1, so she will be able also to do 1 more actions, just like Boris. And finally, Anton is going to try to play with the kid. So you can use the toy stories. Roll the black die and compare the result with the empathy of the character placed here. You may roll the die twice and choose the better result. A result that is equal to or less than the character's empathy, raise the happiness by 1. A result that is greater than the character's empathy, remove this card from the game. So I need to roll a 7 or less in 2 tries, so I can raise the kids' happiness by 1. So there is a pretty good chance of doing that. We have two tries. So we roll the 2. This is lower or equal to the character's empathy, so we managed to do these actions. So we are going to raise the happiness of this kid by 1. So he's at full happiness now because we built those toys, and we also use that card for his benefit. Now with the last 2 actions of the day, we still have Katya and Boris that they can do actions because they don't have any black dots on their state levels. So Katya is going to search the hip, and now we can use poke about action and find the wood and components. So let's see what she found. A lot of things: weapon parts, sugar components and wood. So I've added all that to my storage, and now for my last actions of today, I'm going to try to do this action with Boris. So we found a wild garden here, so I can roll the back die. If the result is 7 or higher, I can add 1 vegetable to the storage. This is very useful because I only have 2 vegetables in my storage, so not everybody is going to eat today. So we need a 7 or more. And it is an 8, so we found the vegetable. We managed to gather a vegetable. So only 1 of my characters is not going to eat today. Okay, so that is for today actions. So now for the dusk phase, everybody is going to drink. So I have 4 water I need, not 5. 4 water. I have 3 food. Amira has a special ability, so if she is hungry, she can lower her hunger by 1 if I draw a fate card that makes me resolve a B side of this one. So she is not going to eat, so she will get even hungrier. So now she is level 2 hunger, 2 wounds, 2 misery and 1 fatigue. Katya, Anton and Boris are going to eat each of them a vegetable. The kid is not going to eat, so I'm going to lower his happiness by 1, but he's still okay. He's at happiness level of 2. Now for the evening phase, we need to assign characters. So I'm going to choose again Boris to guard this door here with his pistol and his ammo, because he has this prowess of 2. So because everybody is going to do something, I'm raising all their fatigues by 1. So Anton has a fatigue of 2. Boris, who took a nap during this turn, has a fatigue of 1. And also Emira has a fatigue of 2. I'm going again to this main station because I want to take that book again. I'm taking with me all the tokens that aren't useful, aren't don't have any weight on them, so they won't be stealed during this night. But also the blade I can use if I find some bars here. I have a lot of components here in my storage, so I don't want to get robbed during this night. But I also have this Vigilant Watch card that I can play. Okay, so now because I'm scavenging, I'm choosing this location, I have to draw 12 cards from this exploration deck. And also because I'm taking Emira, I get to add 1 vegetable to the findings pile because of her ability, because of this ability here. So now we have drawn 12 cards and put them on the unknown space in the exploration. And now let's do this section again to use 4 cards to get 1 cigarette and 1 book. So I discarded the first 4 cards from this deck and added that book and cigarette here, because if Anton's Spirit A ability will come into the game again, he will be able to lose his misery by raising his fatigue by 1. Okay, so now let's draw from this unknown deck. A first great card, we can search the pantry, return 2 exploration cards, or raise noise by 1 and roll for noise. So I am going to return 2 exploration cards. I'm not going to raise the noise level by 1. Okay, now I'm going to draw the first card from the findings deck and only look at the pantry. We found 1 vegetable, 1 sugar and 1 cigarette. And we also are going to roll the black die. On a +5 we will find something. It's a 4, so nothing this time. Okay, that was the first card. Now we found a hiding place. We can ignore this or return 2 exploration cards to keep it. I am going to do that, so I'm going to return 2 exploration cards and keep this card here. We have 2 more cards that we can draw. The first one, it's a door. So we can peek through the keyhole, return 1 exploration card to look at the next card from the unknown deck, or enter. I am going to enter. I am going to raise noise by 1 to enter. And now the last card of this exploration, bars. Since we don't have any bars here, we are going to draw another card. This is unfortunate because we did have this saw blade. So another hideout, so this is not good. the exploration is going to end. We didn't use this hiding place, and we are going now to choose what are we going to take back to the shelter. So we are going to take back five water, because we have already 1 water in the storage and there are only 6 in the game. We have 1 sugar that weighs 1, and we can take 3 more components or wood with us. We're going to restart this marker here. So I'm going to take 3 wood, because I already have a lot of components in my storage and only 4 wood. So I've taken 5 water, the sugar that I have 1 weight on, and 3 wood. Okay, now let's move on to the night raid phase. We already assigned the character with his gun and his ammo. This card is not going to affect us because we don't have a board up token in the shelter. So we are going to read this card here and see what happens. Again, it's a memory card. This is great. It was shuffled into the night raid deck, but now there are only 5 of these cards, so there is a 20% chance of getting this card every time. So again, Boris has a misery level of 0. So if we roll 1 to 3 again, the same script is going to happen. And it's a 6. So it will be a different script. 6, it's 761. So 761. After they hit our house, we started living in the basement. We quickly ran out of food and had a very little water. I couldn't move much because of my foot, but Anna saved us both. She had a great mother, a real hero. She was a great mother, a real hero. Anna used to go out at night and she brought us back everything we needed. And I'm going back to the game, so nothing bad is going to happen this night also. This is going to be shuffled again into the night raid deck. So everyone returned. I shuffled the rest to residents deck for the crime wave into the resident deck. The night raid phase still has only the 5 starting cards. Next time I will be shuffling, next day I will be shuffling the cards from here. So I came back with all my things that I gathered during the scavenge. We have a lot of things here that you can use. Okay, now we are going to draw a fate card. Let's see. Raise the illness of all ill characters. We don't have any ill character. Unfortunately, she didn't heal, Emira. If called tokens minus board up is 4 or more, raise the illness of 3 chosen characters by 1. So we have 6 called tokens here. So 3 of our characters are going to get ill. So Emira, Anton and Katya all got sick during this day. Boris is still okay. Exchange the nearest location. So this ruined villa is going to be discarded. And now this main station that we already searched twice is going to get a lot closer. And we also found a hotel. Okay, resolve weight tokens we don't have. Again, Spirit A. We are going to resolve. Discard 1 coffee. We don't have a coffee to discard, so she is going to get more miserable, a level 3 misery. So she needs coffee because she's going to reach level 4 misery if she gets another Spirit A on her side. So now we can resolve this Spirit A with Anton. If there is at least 1 book in the storage, so it is. We have 1 book in the storage. lowers Anton misery by 1 and raises his fatigue by 1, so this is a good way to get rid of one of his state tokens. So now we are going to replace this level 2 fatigue with a level 3 fatigue. Okay, spirit he bodies his fatigue level 2 or 3, raises his misery by 1. He's only level 2 fatigue because he took a nap during the previous turn. And again, habit, discard 1 moonshine or alcohol from the storage or raise Amira's misery by 1. She doesn't have an alcohol or a moonshine, and she will also be a bit miserable. But next turn we are going to build that chair that is going to lower everybody's misery by 1. So it's not really a huge problem right now. Okay, that was it. Now we're going to shuffle this card back to the Fate deck. Down 2 cards from the Narrative Actions deck. Again, this card, kick the door down. We can automatically open this door if we want. Or this card here, Close Call. Take during any combat, ignore all wounds from a single combat die roll. Or paying during the night raid phase, ignore all wounds from a night raid card. So this sounds a little bit like this Vigilant Watch, and I think it's much better than this kick the door down. We only need a lockpick for this one, so I'm not going to pick this one, I'm going to pick that one. Next, we don't have any meds, we don't have any bandages to assign, we don't have to deal with this Death Among Us. So I'm going to finish this video here. In the next day I will be able to build a lot of things because I have a lot of mechanical parts and wood also, and some electrical part also. But I'm just going to stop here because I think you got the point of this game with this expansion. I didn't use this sewer expansion during my first 2 days, but I think I'm going to use them in my third day. So that's it. Bye.